is how to make a supernova, and today you will become a pigment powder prince. Welcome to the 6th episode already of this beginner mini-series, and today we're going to talk about pigment powders. Pigment powder is a very cool thing to have in your miniature building, scenery building toolbox, because with pigment powders you can age something very fast. But they're quite expensive and they have a very limited color range, because most of the time you will get blacks, browns and maybe a rusty orange. But what if you want to experiment with other colors? So here I have a solution for you. Pastel chalks. With pastel chalks you can almost get the same effect and you have a right variety of colors you can use. I bought a set for around €2, so that's a little more than $2. But it's very easy to use and you can get it almost everywhere. And today I will show you how to use it. To try out our homemade pigment powders, we're going to use these pieces. This is a scenery piece, dry brushed light gray. And the other side is dark gray. This one is purple. The other side is dark brown, more dark reddish. And of course we're going to use our wall we made a few episodes earlier. And if you want to print these parts for yourself, you can find the link in the video description down there. I'm going to take this red brownish piece of chalk and then with my knife I'm going to very carefully scrape the powder off it. Don't push too hard or you will break your chalk or you will get larger clumps, and you don't want that. You want the fine powder. So this is the powder consistency that we want. Now I'm going to use my old makeup brush and dab some powder on it. Like this. I always like to use a little and then just build it up, because it's very easy to add some powder, but taking it off is a little more difficult. When you're going to add your powders, you need to think about what you want to simulate. When you want to add rust or something, the whole part can be rusty. But when you're trying to simulate mud that splattered on your project, most of the mud would be on the downside. So you need to think of that where you want to put it. So let's try to simulate some dirt. So it would be in the lower parts. You can see that it gives you a dusty feeling. But I think this color is a little too bright for this dark gray. So I'm going to add a darker brown in my mix. The dusting is done and you can clearly see the effect of the powder we just made. It looks like this piece of scenery has been outside for a long time, because all the sand and all the dust has been piling up in all the crevices. So let's see how this looks on a lighter background. So going to take this part and I'm going for another color. Let's try an orange. This, and let's try to simulate some rust. So I'm taking my knife again. So I'm going to use my dark brown and my orange brown and mix them together. First I'm going to add a little bit of darker brown, then get a mix, and then finally use the very light brown. So let's see. So I'm going to mix the two. And finally the very orange powder. And here you can see the rust effect we made in just a few seconds. It only takes some chalk powder and just brush it on. You don't need any setup skills or you don't need any kind of training. Just some colored powder and then brush it on. Very easy. And maybe you're thinking, well, what should I do with the excess, like here? Most of the time I just blow it off. Normally I leave it like this, but when you want to seal all the pigments in place, you could spray on some IPA or use a matte varnish spray, but spray from a long distance. You don't want any fluid pooling in any of these recesses. because that will destroy the dusty look and make the pigments look more like a paint. So yellow will give you a more kind of a desert feel. So let's try to add some more orange. So here you can see that using different kinds of colors like green and blue are also very useful, and it is very easy to blend all the colors in. And when you're not satisfied with your color, you can get some more color and just blend them in until you're satisfied. It is really easy to do and gives you great effects. And for the castle walls, I'm going to use green color to simulate some plant growth and moss. You can make it very smooth and very subtle or go very heavy. And it just gives you that interesting color change. You know, the wall is still gray, but you still think from, oh, wait a minute, something is going on there. And if you made it until the end of this video, congratulations, because that means you are officially a pigment powder prince. And here is your badge. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I really would appreciate it if you push that like and subscribe button, because I have more cool projects in mind I want to share with you. And maybe in the meantime, you should check out one of these. See you next time.